Imagine walking into an American car dealership just a few years from now. On one side sits one of the country's most recognizable electric SUVs. On the other stands a challenger that many Americans barely knew a decade ago. It promises cutting-edge battery technology, impressive driving range, modern features, and a price that could make millions of buyers take a second look. And it's expanding faster than almost anyone expected. For years, Tesla has been the company that defined the electric vehicle revolution. It changed how the world thinks about cars and forced the entire industry to innovate. But every revolution eventually attracts new challengers. The question isn't whether BYD has become a major player in the global EV market. The real question is, could BYD become one of Tesla's biggest competitors and reshape the future of electric vehicles? Let's find out. What if one of the world's biggest threats to Tesla didn't start as a car company at all? Back in 1995, while most automakers were focused on gasoline engines and horsepower, a little-known Chinese company called BYD was building something much less glamorous: rechargeable batteries. Few people imagined that this battery manufacturer would one day become a major player in the global electric vehicle industry. As technology evolved, BYD recognized that batteries would become the heart of future transportation. Instead of simply supplying components, the company made a bold decision. It entered the automotive business and began developing its own electric vehicles. It was a risky move, but one that would shape its future. Unlike many traditional automakers that depend heavily on outside suppliers, BYD pursued a different strategy. The company invested in producing many of its own critical components, including battery systems, electric motors, power electronics, and semiconductor technology. This approach gave BYD greater control over costs, production, and innovation. Think of it this way: instead of assembling a puzzle made by different companies, BYD chose to manufacture many of the puzzle pieces itself. Before Tesla, electric cars were often viewed as a compromise. Many people associated them with short driving ranges, slow acceleration, and limited practicality. For most Americans, gasoline vehicles remained the obvious choice. But that perception was about to change. Tesla didn't just build another electric car. It changed what consumers expected from one. Instead of focusing only on efficiency, the company proved that an EV could be fast, technologically advanced, and genuinely exciting to drive. Suddenly, electric vehicles became something people wanted, not something they simply considered. The combination of impressive driving range, instant acceleration, over-the-air software updates, and a modern digital experience helped redefine the automotive industry. Tesla showed that a car could continue improving even after it left the factory through software enhancements and new features. The impact reached far beyond one company, but innovation alone doesn't guarantee long-term leadership. The next challenge is producing millions of vehicles efficiently while keeping costs under control. And that's where another company with decades of battery expertise and large-scale manufacturing enters the story. To understand why many analysts are paying attention to BYD, we need to examine what may be its greatest advantage: the battery itself. When people think about electric vehicles, they often focus on design, speed, or driving range. But the real heart of every EV isn't the motor or the software, it's the battery. And whoever masters battery technology could gain one of the biggest advantages in the global electric vehicle race. A battery determines far more than how far a vehicle can travel. It influences charging performance, safety, durability, efficiency, and ultimately the price consumers pay. In many electric vehicles, the battery is the single most expensive component, making it one of the most important areas of innovation. Instead of relying heavily on outside suppliers, BYD has invested extensively in developing and manufacturing its own battery technology. This strategy gives the company greater control over quality, production, and cost, while allowing engineers to optimize the battery alongside the rest of the vehicle. One of BYD's most recognized innovations is its Blade battery, a design the company says is intended to improve space efficiency and enhance thermal stability. The goal isn't simply to build a battery that stores energy, it's to create one that is durable, reliable, and engineered for long-term everyday use. For consumers, the outcome could be simple: better technology at a more accessible price. And in the rapidly evolving EV industry, the company that builds the best batteries at scale may not just power the next generation of cars, it could help shape the future of transportation itself. But even the most advanced technology has to win where it matters most: the price tag. And that's where the battle becomes even more interesting. In the electric vehicle industry, technology may grab the headlines, but for millions of buyers, the final decision often comes down to one simple question: can I afford it? The next chapter of the EV revolution won't be won by innovation alone, it will be won by value. For the average American family, buying a car is one of the biggest financial decisions they make. They aren't just comparing horsepower or touchscreen size. They're comparing monthly payments, charging costs, maintenance expenses. Building an electric vehicle is expensive, and one component accounts for a significant share of that cost: the battery. If manufacturers can produce batteries more efficiently and at a lower cost, they gain the ability to offer competitive pricing while still delivering modern technology and strong performance. This is where large-scale manufacturing becomes a major advantage. Companies that design and produce many of their own components can streamline production, improve efficiency, and reduce dependence on complex supply chains. Over time, those savings can translate into more affordable vehicles for consumers. And that's why the future of electric vehicles isn't just about who builds the fastest car, it's about who can deliver the best combination of technology, quality, and affordability to millions of people. Because the company that wins the price battle may ultimately shape the future of the global EV market. But even with advanced technology and competitive pricing, one critical question remains: can BYD actually succeed in the United States? That's where the story becomes even more interesting. Building a successful electric vehicle is one challenge. Building a successful electric vehicle company in the United States is an entirely different one. For decades, America has been one of the most competitive automotive markets in the world, where innovation alone is rarely enough to guarantee success. American buyers expect more than impressive technology. They want reliability, convenience. Success in the US isn't only about designing a great EV. It also involves manufacturing capacity, supply chains, service networks, charging infrastructure, and navigating a complex regulatory. So, can BYD succeed in the United States? The answer depends on far more than engineering. It will require navigating market dynamics, earning consumer trust, and adapting to a highly competitive landscape. But perhaps the biggest story isn't about one company versus another. It's about a global race that's transforming the future of transportation for everyone. It's easy to frame the story as Tesla versus BYD, but the reality is far bigger than a competition between two companies. The electric vehicle revolution is a global transformation that is reshaping one of the world's largest industries. Around the world, automakers are investing billions of dollars into new technologies. They're developing smarter software, more efficient batteries, faster charging systems, and advanced manufacturing techniques. The goal is the same: build better electric vehicles for the next generation of drivers. Every new breakthrough pushes the entire industry forward. When one company improves battery technology, others work to surpass it. When another lowers production costs or introduces new features, competitors respond with innovations of their own. That's how progress happens. In the end, the biggest winner isn't necessarily one automaker, it's the consumer. Greater competition can lead to more choices, better technology, improved quality, and vehicles that become increasingly accessible to everyday families. The next decade won't be defined by a single company dominating the market. It will be shaped by continuous innovation, global competition, and the ability to adapt to changing consumer needs. And as this race accelerates, one thing is certain: the future of transportation is no longer being imagined. It is being built today. So, will BYD challenge Tesla? The answer may be yes, but the bigger story is that the entire automotive industry is entering a new era, one driven by technology, competition, and a future that promises more choices than ever before. The story of electric vehicles is no longer about one company changing the world. It's about an entire industry entering a new era, where technology evolves faster than ever and competition drives constant innovation. Tesla proved that electric cars could be exciting, practical, and desirable. It challenged decades of conventional thinking and accelerated the transition toward a cleaner, more connected future. Its influence has reshaped the global automotive industry. At the same time, companies like BYD have demonstrated that large-scale manufacturing, battery innovation, and efficient production can create powerful alternatives. The future may not belong to a single automaker, but to those who can continuously innovate while delivering value to customers. For consumers, this growing competition means more choices, better technology, improved safety, and increasingly affordable electric vehicles. Every breakthrough by one manufacturer encourages the rest of the industry to raise the bar. So will BYD challenge Tesla? Only time will tell, but one thing is already clear. The race to define the future of transportation has begun, and the winners will be the companies that combine innovation, quality, and value. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the future of electric vehicles, subscribe for more cinematic automotive stories, EV technology insights, and the latest industry trends.